Hi and welcome to christinescrafts.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make a memory wire bracelet. It's really easy and you don't need any previous experience. These are the bracelets you're going to make, this sort of thing, and as you can see there are matching earrings which you can find out all about below or at the end. So you need some memory wire that goes around your wrist and also some round nose pliers. You're also going to need to cut the wire unless it's already the perfect length, which is unlikely. Okay, so you take your memory wire. Decide how many times you would like your bracelet to wrap around your wrist. And however many times you want it to go around your wrist, that's how many loops you want, plus another half loop to make sure you've got plenty. You don't want it to fall short at the end. So work out where that takes you onto your memory wire and cut it. Now you can get rid of the spare if you've got any. And that leaves you with a nice set of loops, or one loop depending what you chose. And we now need to make sure when we start feeding beads on, they don't get off the end. So one end only, you're going to take your round nose pliers, place them onto the wire and form a loop by wrapping the wire around the round nosed end. I do mine onto the inside of the loop of wire because I do not want it to stick out. Depending on the size of my beads, it might be bigger. I'm going to use pliers to close mine, but all that matters is that your loop is nice and tight. You don't want any beads escaping into it, and you don't want any beads escaping off your wire. So once you've got a nice tight loop, that's your wire all ready. You can turn your attention to your beads. As you can see, I've laid my beads out, lots of little piles, and I'm now going to work up a design. If you've got a bag of beads and you just want to use them at random and have a completely random pattern, that's fine. You can start feeding your beads onto your wire. But I'm a bit of a pattern person, so I want to do a pattern and repeat it along the wire. So I'm going to lay them out and look at them until I'm happy with them. So I think I'm going to put a couple of extra gold ones in, one at either end. You'll also notice my pattern's symmetrical. Yours doesn't have to be. What I have found is these little tiny beads, they're called seed beads, placed in between all your larger beads really make your bracelet look better. Looks more professional, it just looks nicer overall. Once you're happy with your pattern, take your wire, find the end that has not got a loop on, and start feeding those beads on. So you keep referring to your pattern and feed your beads on in the pattern that you've already decided upon. So as you can see, I'm just going from one pile to another. You'll also notice that I take the wire to the beads. I'm not lifting up every bead and feeding it on. It's a lot easier to do it this way. When I've come to the large bead, I've fed it on. For the smaller ones, it's much easier to just push it onto the bead while it's still on the table. You'll also notice that I'm not onto the hard table. I've got a piece of fabric, and I really recommend that, otherwise your beads will run everywhere and you'll lose them onto the floor. Once you complete one whole run through of your pattern, which you'll see I'm just about to, then have a look. Make sure you're happy with it, and if you are, off you go again. Repeat. And you'll see I've sped up a lot now so we don't get really bored. Just keep repeating. Keep feeding those beads on. Keep repeating that pattern. Also, as you go along, keep sliding them along the wire. You don't want them trying to escape back off again. Keep feeding them on. Once you've got 2, maybe 3 lots of your pattern on, depending on the length of it, you can have a look at your bracelet and see how it's sitting, see how it's looking, make sure you like it. If you don't, just take them all off and start again. Until you put a loop on the other end, nothing is permanent. So just keep working them on, one after the other. You'll start to see that the limiting factor on my bracelet is going to be the large gold discs. Because as you can see, I'm running short of those before I run short of anything else. So I will keep going until I've not got enough beads to complete my pattern. So as I'm running out of those beads on the piles, I will use up the pattern that I laid out. I'm not going to waste those beads. That'll be the last pattern that I put on. And then I've got a complete bracelet. Now, once I've got a complete bracelet, I'm going to slide all the beads to the end with the loop on. Make sure they're tight up against there. And that leaves me with some spare wire. I don't want all that wire on there because I want my beads nice and tight together. So now they're all pushed up, I'm going to hold it and I'm going to cut off the spare wire. But stop. Make sure you leave plenty of wire to form a loop on this end. You don't want your beads being able to escape. So if anything, cut it a little bit long. Better that way than too short. Get your round nose pliers and form a loop on this end. Now as I start to form this loop, I think maybe it's a little bit long. So I'll cut a little bit more off. Not a problem. And I'll put my round nose pliers in again and form my loop into the circle of the memory wire. Get that loop all the way around and I'll make sure it's tight and that no beads can escape. And that's it. Bracelet all finished. All that's left to do now is wear it. Easy enough. Just slide it on. You'll find it stretches out beautifully. It's absolutely no problem. Doesn't matter how long you've made it, how many wraps around you've got. And there you go. You can wear it all day long. Also, there's a pair of earrings to match. If you look at the text below, you'll find a link to how to make those earrings, or at the end, you can click on the video and watch that video straight after this one. So here again are the 3 that I've made with matching earrings. So thank you for watching christiescrafts.com. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please take the time to subscribe or at least give me a thumbs up below. Thank you.